Welcome back, episode 19 of the Recap Room podcast. We are back. I feel like we haven't been here for a while, so we may need to take a little bit extra time here to get acclimated again, because looking over to my left and seeing you guys, it's like, I don't know, I feel like we haven't done it in a while.
Did you miss us?
I did miss you guys.
Oh.
Did you miss me?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, family. Gordy's like, no. Gordy's just looking at me, he's like, no.
No, I mean, I'm happy to be here.
Happy to be
He goes,
back.
no, I didn't miss you, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, you are. Well, you look good. We both came in today, and we never wear jeans.
Ever. They never
and
wear
then we
jeans.
both walked in, and Sasha's like, you guys never wear jeans, and you're both wearing jeans today.
Yeah.
I ran out of pants, so I had to put on
What do you mean you
jeans.
ran out? Like you?
He's doing laundry.
Doing laundry
Laundry
dry
day?
cleaning. Well, I'm not doing laundry.
Who's
Oh, my
doing it?
gosh.
Mama Bab is doing laundry.
Yeah.
Aw, we love Tammy. Speaking
Man.
of shout outs, I would like to give a special shout out to our great friends, all of our great friends.
Yeah.
Lizzie and Kevin,
Amazing.
the future Mr. and Mrs. Seiko, who just got engaged yesterday. We went to a little party for them.
That was
and
awesome.
It was awesome.
I got
I-
a little teary. I was like,
Oh,
wow.
dude, it was
Man.
the best. I'm so happy
I
for
cried.
them. Did you?
I'm getting
yeah.
goosebumps thinking about it because it's like, it's weird. But
You know when you just like see people that like are so in love, just like there's
Yeah.
like that I was waiting for that one.
everybody
I was
wants
waiting
that.
for
Who
one.
doesn't want that?
Who doesn't want? Well,
It was
yeah.
the most
It was-
adorable thing
Yeah.
ever. And
Yeah.
it was like our first like close friend to get
the
engaged.
first domino to fall, as I
The
say.
first
First domino to fall. It was
Yeah.
true love.
It's
Love
definitely
is not dead.
Love is not
Definitely
dead,
not.
and Kevin and Lizzie are living proof of that. So
Yes, they
congratulations.
are.
to them.
Congratulations, guys.
But I want to get into today's topic, and what I'd like this episode to be about, and I think we all kind of agreed on this, is why the hell has real estate gotten so expensive? And most importantly, because we are a solutions-oriented team, we are
Yeah.
not just about the problems, because talking about the problem, anybody can do that. That's just complaining, but we want to come up with solutions
I'm good
too.
at that.
Yeah, you are good at that.
Yeah, you're very
You're
good.
very
That
good
was
at
so
that.
easy. Yeah, you
That
are.
was-
So why the hell has real estate gotten so expensive is going to be Sasha's part, and what can do about it is going to be Gordy and I. No, I'm kidding. We're all going to be involved, but
That'd probably be the most efficient way to talk about it.
it'll be a lot easier to do it that
Oh,
way.
yeah.
But I think it's an important topic because, you know, like the cost of living, obviously, in this country has gotten very, very expensive. Housing
Yeah.
being one of those costs that have just gone up a lot over the last, I mean, it's gone up over time slowly, but, you know, I'd say over the last 5 years.
A lot.
Plus, since COVID, I feel like it's gotten way more expensive.
It's gotten so much more expensive. The average kid our age, maybe you just graduated college now, speaking of engagements, you're now maybe getting engaged, you're planning on moving back to the suburbs or something and settling down, starting your family. Like, we're all from the north suburbs, and I look at that and like kids from where we grew up, if you grew up in that area, you go, 5 years ago, you moved to the city, now you're about to move back, like the cost to live in a nice suburb of Chicago is
Expensive.
it's very
Way more-
expensive.
Different, like when your parents were first-time home buyers, buying
Right.
where you grew up, it was not like this. Now, when
Times
you're
are
going to
different.
live back there, it's
Right.
like, wait, I got to look in
Right.
way different areas
right.
now. It's too
Right.
expensive.
So why
Yeah.
let's start off, like, why do you think it has gotten so expensive in the real estate market? And I have my opinions.
Well,
and the longer this goes, the more off the rails I'm getting. I'm just warning everybody here. So
okay, well,
No,
I'll
I'm
start
just-
off small.
Yeah, keep me calm.
I feel like, I don't feel like, everything is more expensive
Right.
now.
Yeah.
So
Boom.
just inflation,
Yep.
period.
Yep.
That affects everything.
Correct.
How do you beat inflation, though? Just keep printing money.
You can always print money.
Just keep printing.
Just keep printing.
Oh my.
Outprint the inflation. I think that's the best solution.
That's a good idea. You know how they say there's girl math? That's Gordy math.
I'm like, why stop printing?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Just keep printing more.
Print till you just can't no more. I mean,
Print until the printer stops
All
working.
right.
Exactly.
If you guys can't tell, they're joking.
Yes, we are. We are.
That was a
And we're not economists. But yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Everything's gotten more expensive.
Yeah.
So obviously it's going to be affecting the housing costs
Yeah.
and real estate costs.
Yeah. So that's all
number
I.
one.
That was my
and,
first
and that's
thing.
short and sweet.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. What about you, Gordy? What say you?
I think also when we were talking about the areas that you kind of grew up in, like if those areas are already developed and pretty much finished, they're going to be more expensive compared to
Right.
other areas outside of Chicago that are, haven't been fully developed yet. They don't have as much housing. It's going to be a little bit cheaper there compared to like Deerfield, Highland Park, Northbrook, like those type of areas that
Right.
are pretty much done.
Right.
There's not any more development they need to do.
Right.
Well,
There's a little bit.
A little bit.
I know
But
what you're
like,
saying. I get what you're saying.
Like they've already broke ground. They got already
Like
built
it's already
so
been built
much
out.
there.
Yeah.
There's only so much
totally
that you can
totally.
do. Yeah,
I agree. What do you? I want to. I want to know why you want to go off the rails here.
Oh,
because
boy.
I know I think
that's-
everyone can kind of put in their 2 cents on like the obvious answers, like kind of
Right.
what Gordy and I just said. But I want to know what you were thinking.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing about it is like when you look at when we say real estate and like we're talking about real estate prices, we're kind of more talking about like housing and like apartments.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like office space,
That's a whole
like
other
like
world
office
now.
like office space is a fraction of what it cost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, you can buy buildings in foreclosure in the city of Chicago for pennies on the dollar.
But that's also just because of like the social climate and like how
Yeah.
work has been
Right.
structured now.
right. Exactly.
So-
I mean, work from home has changed
You know.
that.
Change that dynamic.
completely.
Yeah. So I want to lay that groundwork first because it's not like it's one size fits all. But I think what affects most people on a day to day is housing prices because
Yeah.
people have dreams. Most people, especially in this country, have a dream of buying a house one day, buying some sort of real estate. And I think it's a good idea. I think everybody at some point in their life should own real estate. And so I think there's a few reasons. Obviously, the reasons you guys stated that things have just gone up in value, period, or like have gone up in price, period. Everything across the board, inflation. Obviously, certain areas have been more developed than others, but a lot of it has to come. It comes down to policy. Like I don't want to go off the rails like on a political tangent here, but the
And
fact
I
of
knew this is where he was gonna go.
But the reality is, when you make it more difficult to build, when you make it more difficult to invest, you make it more difficult to buy, all the red tape involved, specifically in the city of Chicago, but even in other suburbs around here, people don't understand there's no such thing as a free lunch. Like that cost is going to get passed down somehow.
Yeah.
Because the business owner who makes that investment needs to make money. So if it now costs me 2x to build a house, or it costs me, 50% more to deal with the regulations through the city of Chicago to complete a project, I'm no economist. Hell, I didn't even finish college, and I can figure out that that's going to raise the prices.
Yeah.
And that's either going to result in a higher cost when you go to sell, which means the next buyer is going to have to pay more, or it's going to be higher rent prices.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge component that I think, yes, there's obvious reasons that people see, but like this is where what you vote for and what you what you care about in terms of policy affects your day-to-day life. Above and beyond all the other whatever, like that's how it directly impacts it. So I think it's important for people to at least know that. And yeah, that's my short rant about it.
No, yeah, I completely agree
I think
with you.
no, you're right. You're on the right track with that, and I think people are realizing that now because
I don't think so.
I do. Dude, there's people out there who are like, they want to buy homes and they've been looking for, 2,
I
3,
think
4
people
years.
start realizing it when they're in that situation.
Yeah,
right.
Like, for example, like the people we know, like no one's really looking to buy a house
no.
right now, so nobody's really thinking about housing prices. Right. But like when you're looking for it, obviously you start.
But if they're renting, they care about the rent prices.
Right.
Correct.
And then
Right.
they complain that the rent prices
Yeah.
go up. And I say,
Right.
why are rent prices going up? Do you think it's just because the landlords are all getting together and say, yeah, baby, like I'm a landlord. Do you think I can just charge whatever I want for rent? No,
No.
I have to charge what the market allows me to charge.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when my taxes go up, when the cost of regulations and all the red tape I have to deal with goes up, when the, potential risk that I have that a tenant can now, turn around and sue me for X, Y, and Z has to go up, like that cost, that risk has to be compensated for by increased prices.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I won't make that investment.
Yeah.
And this is what people like they only understand sometimes the surface level of like, oh, the rent prices increased, but like that didn't just happen.
Yeah.
That happened because of things that culminated over time, and it results in that. So I think people just need to be a little bit more aware as to what's going on, and then maybe they make a more educated decision. Be like, hey, well, this is what this person supports, and that's how it affects X, Y, and Z, but this is how, this person's policy will affect real estate and affect my day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think we can do to combat that? Other
Okay.
than,
We're solution-based.
learning about it and voting.
Yeah, because we spent a lot. I spent a lot of time complaining there. And I am good at that.
I was gonna say.
I know.
Is it me who's good at complaining?
For the one who said and
Yeah.
pinned it on you, I actually did a lot of complaining there.
Well, that's why we all work together really well. We just
We
yap.
complain.
We're a group of yappers.
Yeah, motor mouths.
Yeah. Actually,
We're like
Gordy looks at me and he goes, "No, you're just the yapper."
It's really just one
And a half.
and a half.
I would say.
good listeners.
I would say the half rotates between Sasha and I. The one
I think
and
I
a half.
don't really yap.
You know, you don't
you're-
yap.
You just like hum songs while you're in the office and like tap your desk.
Yeah, and I want to strangle him.
You're like the guy from Breaking Bad where he's tapping the bell.
Yeah,
that's you. Yeah.
Shout out to my brother on this one. He literally, my brother, like will like, you know, like people like they'll go like with their leg or like just can't like sit still. And then I'll be like, "Can you stop?" And he's like, "How are you going to be friends with anybody?" I'm like, I just yell at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does just yell at me.
But solutions.
What is the solution?
What would you? Well, let's start with
Okay.
you. You guys started the last one. We'll
I have
back
one
around.
solution that
Okay.
I think would help people understand this more of what you were going off of. I think just like educating people. I feel like people don't know this and they don't know where to look and they're unsure. So just simple education, dumb it down for me. You know,
For what? What do
like
you mean?
learning about how do these policies directly affect me?
Oh yeah.
Because I think a lot of people don't realize it until it's too late, and they're like,
Right.
"Wait, what? What is all this stuff?" Like, how do you get them to understand it? In I would say, just in a basic way of like,
Right. Knowledge is power.
yeah,
Yeah. I've heard that one once or twice.
knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. But yeah,
I don't.
agree with
You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of blanking here because the only thing you can really do is educate yourself and then kind of, you know, make decisions based off of that, based on, you know, because it's really out of our hands, right?
Right.
We can't control the prices. It is what it is, but the only way we can control it, quote unquote, is by voting for policies that will probably help alleviate the housing problem and, you know, how affordable it is lately. But other than that, the only way to combat it now, personally, what I think is just like your personal decisions on how
Correct.
you handle your money.
And,
Also,
and
experience too. I feel like is a big part of it. Like going through it. Like if you're trying to buy a house or something or anything, you're learning on the fly. It's part of knowledge, but experiencing is learning.
Well, and I think one key thing that is kind of off of those points is like look historically what things like history tends to repeat itself, right? And housing prices have on average gone up over time, beating the pace of inflation. It's historically been a very good store of value to put your money in real estate, some better than others, but you know, if we're saying that, and this is what I think the housing prices are going to continue to go up for a long time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Like how?
Yeah,
Like,
there's
the problem. I mean, I feel like we're going on a rant.
yeah.
But like the problem is that nobody's salaries are going up. Really, like
Yeah.
they're all
Not
kinda staying
enough-
the same.
not
Not
enough
enough
to
with the
balance.
housing. It's not
Right.
balancing itself out. Where
But
they're
also, then
going
what's
together.
the point if they're just then just fine?
Right.
Then just stay here.
Whoa,
Whoa.
Guys.
2 minutes penalty box.
Oop.
unbelievable.
No, but I think one of the biggest solutions is getting in to the real estate market as early as is, you know, financially responsible for you. Because what people, you know, one good part, like when you buy
But that's knowledge, though, where you say financially responsible.
Right.
How do you know when it's financially responsible? A lot of people are like,
And
I have
that's
no
why
idea
we're
when doing
and that's
this.
why we're going to be, you know, rolling out some pretty cool stuff come 2025 to help
Yeah.
educate people.
Gonna be cool.
Little teaser here.
It'll
But
be good for me too.
yeah, it'll be good for all of us. Just get different, and you know, everybody who's a client or potential client of the recap
Or
group,
friend.
or family, or even if you're an enemy.
Enemy. I've got some enemies out there.
that may benefit from this.
I have a banned list of people.
on your notes app.
Mostly
They have no idea they're your enemy.
Mostly Caleb Williams haters.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously the predecessor to that is education, but getting into the, you know, real estate market as early as financially responsible for you, because when you buy something like real estate, if it's on, you know, a fixed rate loan, which is what most people you know, purchase real estate on, you're locking your cost in, right? Like
that certain amount of time, yes.
yeah, like your loan, the interest rate you get your loan at when you lock it in is the worst that it's going to be. Like that's worst case scenario.
Yes.
So when you lock it in, you know, if prices go up if rent prices go up, things that are happening that are out of control, you kind of are able to control the situation a little bit more. And if you can fix your, people's living costs, on average, that's your biggest expense. Mm-hmm. And whatever you can do to limit that or kind of fix it is going to be beneficial to you over the course of the next 5, 10, 15 years, as I think, especially in Chicago, with the way policies and just the general trends of the real estate market are going. I think prices will continue to go up, and it allows you to just kind of have a little bit more control over the controllables in your life.
Compared to like other investments, for sure. Like if you're investing in stocks, you're investing in a stock, but you don't own part of you're not making decisions on the board members. They're the ones in real estate. You buy your real estate. The CEO. You are making those decisions. Like what you want to do with it, that's your decision.
Yeah. What's nice too is that you're going to pay the same mortgage, every year. Yeah. But like when you're renting, your rent's probably going to go up every single year.
Yes.
And you're not going to be the one in control of that. And you have no say in that. So.
And on top of it too, if the landlord says, all right, my son's moving in. You've lived there for 10 years.
Yeah, get out.
It's now become your home. I mean, like you live somewhere for 10 years. It feels like home. For sure.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden the building gets sold and the guy's like, yeah, my son's moving in, or I'm moving in, or I'm selling the building. Like,
you don't have that same security.
There's something nice about having that stability.
Your own place.
Especially in the world that we live in, where so many things are just like, flip of a coin, my world's upside down.
Yeah.
We lived through that in 2020, or in 2020, I almost said. In 2020, with COVID, where by the overnight,
I will
everything.
say, though, I feel like people watching right now, the question they'd ask is like, well, yeah, like having your own, house or piece of real estate is great and all, sounds wonderful. Like I would love to, own real estate, but how do I get in, especially as a first-time home buyer? I feel like it's such a daunting entry.
I don't want to say, we don't want to say anything, but we will.
We're
still cooking up for
people to learn. For sure. But I think that
it's the hardest part of where to start.
Where to start?
Where do I go? What do I do?
There's multiple ways that you can start, and you don't have to start with.
Well, here's how you start. You call Gordy, Sasha, or Michael.
Call Sasha.
Screw them.
Yeah, call Sasha.
Yeah, just call Sasha. Actually.
You're gonna feel better because I'm a robot. I'm actually one of Elon's new robots that he just rolled out.
I mean, that's, if you're looking for the first place to start, that's what you do.
Yeah.
If you literally know nothing, or more than nothing, our goal is to be whether you come and work with us or not. We don't even I don't think I can speak for all of us. I don't think we really care. I think if you come to speak with us, you'll end up realizing that, hey, this is going to be a good fit. But we'll speak with people that are like, hey, I don't want to waste your time. They feel really bad about reaching out because they're like, I know I'm not ready now, but I'm probably going to be ready in 2 years.
Exactly.
Dude, we love that. Reach out to us even if it's in 5 years that you're not ready.
We like talking about it and helping you helping you feel more comfortable. We're not just like, yeah, you reach out to us. Okay, now you're with us forever.
Right. Yeah, and I feel like it makes people better prepared for when they do want it to kind of come to fruition. Mm-hmm. And they know what to expect kind of when they're ready to go and they're not scared.
I say for all of our buyers, we bring them into the office or do a Zoom for an hour. I would say there was a 90+% chance that you're going to come out of that conversation. One, I guarantee you're going to learn something and probably learn multiple things, but you're also going to come out of it feeling like, wait a second, this is not nearly as complex and as in-depth and as daunting as I thought it was. I mean, I heard a good quote. I don't know who it was, maybe Klein or somebody who... No, this isn't the saying. This is like some cheesy saying. But it was like, when you... Buying is essentially renting, but instead of paying rent to your landlord, you're paying it to the bank on a mortgage, on a 30-year fixed loan. And then at the end of those 30 years, the property is now yours.
Yeah.
And realistically, there's a little nuance to that. There's a little bit more in the purchasing process that's in depth. But by and large, you look at people that are paying $2,000, $2,500 a month in rent, you could probably buy something pretty comparable for the same that you're renting for, and then come out of it and feel like, wow,
And I think financially, if you're going to stay somewhere, like what you say,
Right.
if you're going to stay somewhere longer than
Couple years.
5 years,
Yeah.
or whatever, 4 or 5 years, it's probably, and not probably, it's more financially responsible and like smart to buy.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think obviously we didn't give too much in details as to like what the process looks like and all the nuts and bolts of it, but that's part of it is deliberate because we are going to be rolling some stuff out we'll launch it later this year, early next year, and it's going to be, the gist of it is going to be very much open form educational to teach you guys, our clients that we spent the last 4 years helping find apartments for. Now, all right, we've helped you find your apartment to get, like, this is the first time you've worked with a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now let us be that professional to help you make the next step in your journey.
Right. We're
which
growing
is-
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the nice part about it. I feel
We're here
like,
for the long term, baby.
Yeah,
We're
we
growing,
are.
baby.
Yeah, we are.
Not in height, but we're growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
could
feel
use
like
it.
it's really nice. Like, not only, like, I'm probably going to go off tangent right now.
It's all good.
But I feel like
Go off, girl.
there's
Go off, queen. Slay, queen.
Slay. Gordy's
All right.
living a brat summer.
I am Brad.
No,
right
it's
now.
actually looking at
It's
the weather.
fall
No,
now.
that's so
It's-
demure fall.
It is.
I can't.
This weather sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. I feel like people can tell our energy right now, and it's a little bit
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I also
calmer.
I'm running on like no sleep because we were out late. I mean,
Yeah.
I was partying. I was
You're like, engagement. I'm next. Even though I don't have a girlfriend, I'm next.
I'm next. Like, put a ring on it. My girl's gonna get a ring pop for
this
sure.
is okay. I think this is hilarious, but it's probably not that funny. But you know how like when I already told you guys, but when you go to like an event and you're like with your significant other, like you bring a gift together, and like your
Yes. You
cards
plan that
are
together.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. The three of us bring a gift together.
Yeah.
So like last night when we went to this engagement party, I was like, so what kind of card are we getting?
Yeah, and we all got it together.
That's the life though.
That is the life.
Oh my God.
And take a wild guess who wrote the card.
Me.
No,
No.
not you. You weren't allowed, and neither was I,
I did
because
obviously.
Sasha's handwriting.
I still don't know how to color in the lines. So
Yeah.
Yes, I wrote the card on behalf of all of us.
Yes.
But they got the card. So teamwork.
teamwork makes
Exactly.
the dream work.
But what I was going to say, back onto it. Thanks for bringing your brat summer into this. I think something that's really nice and comfortable, not comfortable, but like makes people feel more at ease. Like, especially when you make huge life decisions. Like we're adulting now, you know? And working with people, like I have a friend who's in insurance. So I've, had people work with her. I've worked with her and, or other people that I just know where I'm like, oh, like this guy, you should go to him. And we're all like friends our age kind of thing. I feel like it makes the experience so much more just like relaxed.
Yeah.
Rather than going to, I'm not saying don't do this or whatever, but like it's your preference completely. But like, rather than me going to like, an insurance guy that's
70,
been in the business
right.
for, he's almost done with the business. Like it's great. And I know that they're extremely knowledgeable and it's helpful, but I feel just a lot more comfortable when I'm talking to somebody that's kind of on the same playing field.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think
Going through the
that
same
comes to
things.
our advantage,
Similar point in
especially
life,
when we
for
work
sure.
with
I
our
have
clients.
something to say on that too. It's like what I found sometimes is like when I do speak with like professionals or whatever that are like a lot older and more experienced, I sometimes would feel like the pressure to like they would use big words or use terms, and you almost feel expected to know what they're saying.
You have no
like
idea.
when I got into real estate, I didn't like people would like I knew what the word mortgage was, but I didn't know like what that meant. I didn't know like principal and interest, like, and so then you work with a professional, right, who's been in the business so long. They've worked with all these established people that their methodology is like, oh, they just kind of expect you to know these things.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's fine, but when you come, I think when sometimes people feel like a little like awkward to even ask the question then because they're just spewing out all these. It's like when you go to the dentist and they're like, put the occlusi blah 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 on the E5 and you're like, what? They're like in my mouth and numbers and letters and I don't know what they're saying.
Like, bro,
Yeah.
it's teeth.
Yeah, but it's like that's kind of how it feels sometimes when you're working with I think somebody that's a little bit older and more established, and they'll use all these big terms, and you feel awkward asking them because you're like, I feel like I should know this, but it's like you shouldn't know this.
It's completely true, because just to like put it into like to connect to it, I think when I worked in one of my previous jobs, I had a boss much older than me, and it was really hard for me to ask questions because I was like, all right, these are the questions she's had 25 years ago.
Yes.
You know, so I felt like awkward, and I felt like I just needed to know, so I would just like look stuff up.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't have known had I asked. Like, I would have known better had I asked, but I felt uncomfortable with it. But then I had a job later where the boss was 2 years older than me. And it was so much easier to learn because I was like, listen, you started 2 years ago. I'm in that spot.
Yep.
You are very close to that, and I know you remember how it felt, so you need to help me.
Right.
You know, so, and that's how I feel like we are. Like, we are learning this while we are kind of spewing the information to you. So
Yeah.
we're like going together.
We're growing
together.
And on top of that, we also have at our disposal all the resources of the people that have been in the business.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So it's like you get
You can make the buying process so much easier. Like, here's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Here's a lender.
And these are people, and we can introduce, like, we'll go through the whole process for you to answer all the questions that you may be, like, nervous to add, whatever.
Yeah.
But then if you're like, well, I love that part, but I'm also maybe not sure because you guys are younger. Granted, I have been in the business for 4.5 years now, which is probably longer than most of the agents that you're working with. Not to toot my own horn, but shots fired there. But regardless of that, I, like, even if that's a little bit of like you're like, I wish I was working with somebody who maybe had 10, 15, 20 years of experience.
Yeah.
You're not just coming to work with us. We have a whole array of people that have been hand selected,
Yeah.
a team of people, real estate attorneys, real estate inspectors, lenders, appraisers, title companies, all these people that have been handpicked that are, all of them are older than us and have more experience.
Yeah.
So even if there's things that are like, you're like, yeah, I love that you're walking us through this, but I wish I had a little bit more, you know, like somebody
Feel
just
more
that,
comfortable
or if your parents are involved, because that happens a lot where the parents are involved. They're like, well, that's great that you're working with a friend, but does the friend really know what they're doing? One, once they talk to me, they're going to love me. And two, after that, it's like we have a whole roster, a whole bullpen, if you will, of people that are...
Yeah, we got middle relievers, setup men.
That are the
setup people.
that are the actual, like, best, most qualified people to be handling the transaction for you, and not just us. So I think
We're a Swiss Army knife. We can do it all.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you're asking a dumb question, just remember that I'm on the team. And I've asked some pretty insane questions where they're like, are you for real right now?
I ask a lot of dumb questions. When I first started with my accountant, I think I asked him maybe the dumbest questions.
There's
of all
no...
time.
There really is no such thing as...
What's a percent?
No.
How do you calculate my income with percent?
Literally.
Oh, boy.
No, yeah. I think that it comes to, like you said, our age. I think we've said it in a couple videos now or podcasts now that our age, you know, it could be something that hinders us, but I think it helps us.
It's our superpower.
I think it is our superpower. And I think that it's, did you hear that?
You get a little hungry?
Oh.
Wait, what happened?
My
stomach's
stomach
growling.
made a noise. But we've been talking about mortgages too long.
Getting hungry, yeah.
She won't even eat. She'll just have another coffee.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys, I've been slowly getting off of coffee.
I know.
I've been juicing a little bit. I've been drinking like juices.
Gordy's been juicing
I've been
too,
juicing
just a
too.
different type of juicing. He's been on the
What
juice.
are you on? Anavar? Steroids?
What the heck is that? No, I was thinking like carrot juice.
That needs to get clipped. We may not even post that, but that needs to get clipped. 'cause that's
gosh.
funny.
But anyway, I know that we're kind of being repetitive here right now, but
We'll wrap it up.
we'll wrap it up here in a second. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there because I feel like that's what people are thinking.
I think so too.
You know?
I think so too. I think this was a really good, and it'll be a good segue for when we get that. I know we keep teasing it, but we're going to be launching out some cool stuff that I think is going to be really, really helpful for people.
I know
especially-
it's something that I would have loved to have. Like,
Me
I think
too.
before I started real estate, like seriously, I think I've said this a million times, but I had no idea. And at a time, I refused to work with a broker. I literally was that person. So I was like, nah, I can do this shit. I can do this on my own.
That's 4 minutes. You
I
maybe
can't.
one more time.
What's going
You're
on
getting
here? Like-
suspended. You're getting suspended if you do.
This will not be happening at our REKAP universities. No swearing allowed.
I'm gonna have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh
It's
no.
going to turn into a woman's tell-all night.
No. It's great. I'm
That'd be
excited.
amazing.
Bears are 4-2.
But it'll be definitely really helpful.
It'll be good. So
anyway,
well,
I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, as always, guys, we appreciate you listening.
Yeah.
And just keep staying tuned for some more information that we're going to be posting about here in the coming weeks and months. And as always, we love
ya.
ya.